It is Ryan Seacrest here. There was a recent social media trend which consisted of flying on a plane with no music, no movies, no entertainment. But a better trend would be going to ChumbaCasino.com. It's like having a mini social casino in your pocket. Chumba Casino has over 100 online casino-style games, all absolutely free. It's the most fun you can have online and on a plane. So grab your free welcome bonus now at ChumbaCasino.com. Sponsored by Chumba Casino.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
All right, so we've got a really, really interesting set of searches here.
Yeah.
And they're all kind of focused on like the same basic idea, but there's some nuance to it.
Definitely some nuance.
And it's all about, spring in 2025.
Yeah.
So kind of the arrival of spring in 2025. And it seems like, on the surface, it's like, when is spring?
Right.
But it's more than that, right?
Yeah, it seems like there's some curiosity kind of beyond just knowing when the warmer weather shows up.
Yeah.
Like getting into the why and how we actually mark this change of seasons.
Yeah.
And what that means for us.
Yeah, and we can see that in the variety of searches, right?
Yeah.
So, we've got some that are like super straightforward, like just first day of spring 2025.
Mm-hmm.
But then we've got others that are like much more specific, like spring equinox, northern hemisphere.
Yes.
And even like Ostara.
Right.
So it's clear that like you're interested in more than just a date on a calendar.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You're interested in like all the different facets of spring.
Yeah. So why don't we jump into it?
Yeah, let's do it.
So I think the first thing we should probably talk about is like the science of it.
Okay.
Because a lot of these searches mention spring equinox and vernal equinox 2025.
Right.
So what's the significance of those astronomical events?
So the spring equinox or vernal equinox, they're the same thing.
Okay.
It's like the key astronomical marker that indicates the start of spring.
Okay.
At least in the northern hemisphere.
Gotcha.
And you can kind of picture this if you think about like the Earth orbiting the sun on a tilt, right? And twice a year during these equinoxes, that tilt is neither pointing towards or away from the sun.
Okay.
It's like a point of balance.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So what does that mean for us here on Earth?
Well, on the day of the equinox, you're going to experience roughly equal amounts of daylight and darkness.
Okay.
About 12 hours each.
Wow.
And that's going to happen all across the globe.
Oh, interesting.
So it's like a truly global event.
Okay, so when people are searching, when is spring 2025?
Mm-hmm.
Spring 2025 date. When's the first day of spring? First day spring 2025. All the variations.
Yeah.
They're all basically pointing to this moment, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's all about that vernal equinox.
So for 2025, when does that happen?
So in 2025, the vernal equinox falls on Thursday, March 20th.
Okay.
So that is the first day of spring in the northern hemisphere.
Gotcha. So basically the first day of spring is kind of like the more casual term for it.
Exactly. We often refer to the first day of spring.
Yeah.
But the equinox is like the precise astronomical point that defines when it begins.
Okay.
It's like the celestial signal.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Now this is where it gets interesting for me because we also saw searches for Ostara.
Yes.
Which for someone, just looking at a calendar, it might seem like kind of random.
Totally out of left field.
Yeah. So what's the connection there?
Well, what's so cool about Ostara is that it connects us to like the cultural significance of this time of year.
Yeah.
Right. It's not just about the astronomy.
Mm-hmm.
Ostara is a historical and actually still observed celebration.
Oh, wow.
That's linked to the spring equinox.
Okay.
And it embodies themes of renewal rebirth.
Oh, cool.
The increasing light and warmth.
I like that.
Yeah, it shows how people throughout history have marked this astronomical event with traditions.
Yeah.
And really created meaning around it.
So it's not just about the Earth's tilt.
Right.
It's also about how humans have responded to that.
Exactly.
Over time.
Cool. So it's like the searches are really bridging the scientific understanding with this cultural resonance.
Absolutely.
Really neat.
It shows how we experience the start of spring on these multiple levels.
I love it.
Yeah.
All right. So I think that brings us to a nice point to wrap up.
Okay.
So for you, our listener, those searches for the date of spring in 2025, they all pinpoint March 20th.
Yes, the vernal equinox. Vernal equinox. But, your curiosity about Ostara, that reminds us that this isn't just a date on a calendar.
Exactly.
It's a moment that's rich with cultural meaning.
Absolutely.
And ancient connections to renewal.
Yeah, it really makes you think.
It does.
Like, how many other events in our year that seem so simple are actually underpinned by both this really precise scientific explanation, but also like this really deep cultural tradition.
That's really cool.
Yeah. So what other connections might you find if you start digging deeper?
Yeah, that's something to think about.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for listening.
And we'll see you on the next deep dive.
See you next time.
It is Ryan Seacrest here. There was a recent social media trend which consisted of flying on a plane with no music, no movies, no entertainment. But a better trend would be going to ChumbaCasino.com. It's like having a mini social casino in your pocket. Chumba Casino has over 100 online casino-style games, all absolutely free. It's the most fun you can have online and on a plane. So grab your free welcome bonus now at ChumbaCasino.com. Sponsored by Chumba Casino.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply.